cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. What's up, fellas, and welcome back to another True Tuesday. Today's topic, fellas, I thought we'd discuss the situation that happened a couple of months ago. It's a tragic situation, and an unfortunate one, where people are out there scamming and taking advantage of things that we use on a regular basis. And I know you guys have heard the situation. It was an 81-year-old man in South Carolina, small town that he was from, had received a phone call, and the caller basically had told him that, a relative of his had been incarcerated and needed some money to bail out.
Yeah.
So the 81-year-old, of course, the unfortunate thing about these scammers is the most vulnerable people are these senior citizens.
Right.
So like I said, this guy's 81 years old. Mm-hmm. And we talked about AI technology a while ago on the previous show. They have it nowadays to where the caller can even imitate
your voice and
imitate your relative's voice. Now, This wasn't the case in this situation, but I was just speaking in general on how they're taking advantage of modern technology and still able to duke us, so to speak. So, like I said, this old man got this phone call about this relative, and he's entertaining the situation, the conversation, and he's being told that somebody's going to come and retrieve the money. So at the same time, while he's on the phone with this man, a Uber driver, a 61-year-old female, her name was Lolita Hall.
Yeah.
Lolita Hall.
Lolita Hall.
Yeah. She receives this call. She's a normal Uber driver, so she has no idea what's going on with the gentleman.
Yeah.
And I didn't mention his name.
William
Brock. Thanks,
Yeah.
Slash. William Brock out of, from South Carolina, 81-year-olds, and Lolita Hall, 61-year-old, has no idea what's going on with William. So she's doing her normal job. So she goes to the house, and basically goes to the door to retrieve the package, not knowing what the package is. Again, so William, of course, answers the door.
Wow.
Expecting, already knowing. Because the caller told him, someone would be retrieving the package, he's aggressive with Lolita. He's basically trying to get her to tell her who the caller is. Trying to find out more information, but she has no idea what he's talking about. So she's totally lost, as you can imagine.
Right.
So William has a gun. And he has it pointed. They actually they have footage, I think, from her dash cam of her vehicle, where she's backing up and she's trying to tell him, man, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? And William he's insisting on getting this information. And he actually took her cell phone, so she couldn't call for help.
Holding her hostage.
Right, basically, he's holding her hostage, trying to get this information. William ends up shooting her 3 times.
Wow.
She didn't die on scene, but she did die from the wounds. And again, Lolita had no idea what she was going into. This is what she does on a daily. This is how she makes her living.
She does, because I do.
As a lot of people do it. I even did Lyft once upon a time. I know this is Uber, but I did Lyft once upon a time, and I never imagined this type of thing happening to me at the time I was doing it. There are dangers that you should consider when lifting, but you can never imagine this happening.
You never think this would happen for no reason at all.
This is crazy because
she don't even know what's going on. But now, is it some other things involved with maybe why he shot her besides the fact that his package? Because if you know he was a white man and this was a black woman.
I hear and see where you're going with this, Slash. However, I don't think this was a racial issue. I just think this is a situation where two innocent people were affected by someone that was trying to do
Some
wrong.
idiot.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually wait a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. On the surface, it may not appear to be a racist issue, but when I look at the situation and I see an 81-year-old man, and I don't know how that man was raised by his parents, but I see his age,
Right.
and I think about the of how you could see the fear in that woman's eyes, man.
Right.
You could see the fear.
In
in
her
her
she had a
eyes.
gun pointed at her.
Yeah, of
Shit.
course. But that's what I'm saying. You could see the fear in that woman's eyes.
Yeah.
And you can see that this woman was
Was
hobbling.
afraid.
Was hobbling
Right.
when
She did seem-
she looked like she could barely
Barely
walk.
walk herself.
yeah, she looked like she
herself.
could have been disabled.
So a part of me do feel like
He was out of
there
line.
was a little racial component
Yeah.
there. Like
He was out of
would
line.
you have been so quick
Yeah.
to kill a white woman?
Oh, I see where you're coming
Right.
from.
Would you
See,
have been so
Quick
quick?
to kill a right.
That's what
That's
I'm
a good
saying.
point. I mean, I wasn't looking at it on that side of the road, I guess you would say. Looking at it and listening to how you put it,
Yeah.
I could see it that way. But I'm speaking of at the beginning of the goddamn day, neither one of them knew that this was going to happen.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think it was racially motivated. Now,
No,
his
no.
actions, yes,
Yeah, that-
I could see that.
Yeah, and that's my point. Yeah, of course, they both were duped.
Right.
And but I don't think the outcome would have been the same if it was a 61-year-old white woman
right.
hobbling like she was hobbling,
hobbling.
and
And
you
that's
could
81
see,
year-
you could see the fear in her eyes.
Yeah.
Now, of course, she got a gun pointed,
Yeah.
but man, that lady,
She
you
was
know,
harmless to
And-
you.
and
Yeah.
then
A white
she
woman would have never had the gun pointed
Yeah,
at her, more or less, or not as
He'd
quick.
never pulled a gun on the white woman.
Yeah, I don't think it may. If it would have happened, I don't think it would have happened as quick.
Yeah.
And then you could see she was,
She was.
man,
Yeah,
she was
video
bad.
clearly
So-
shows the fear that she had.
Now, in
Yeah.
my opinion, he's 100% wrong here.
of course, I think so too.
You know,
Yeah.
regardless of what happened before the call not being understood, either way, your actions.
It was-
he controlled that situation.
Yeah, he could have.
He had that situation under control, and he did what he did
Well,
with it.
okay, I'm gonna back up. When you say he's 100% wrong, Slash, what is he 100% wrong at?
Shooting her is where he's
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, he was. I think so too. I
He's
think
wrong
he's
at
100%
shooting her.
wrong. For okay, he gets a call saying that his relative was incarcerated, right?
Right.
And they need X amount of dollars, right?
Right.
And they're sending somebody to come pick up the dollars, right? So, off the rip, you can tell he knew something wasn't up. That's why he had the gun. Someone on the up and up. That's why he had the gun. So at that time, you had an option to reach out to authorities yourself to let them know that they're on their way and y'all could be waiting. But it was something wasn't right because you had the gun. You knew something wasn't right.
Well, he was still on the phone with the perpetrator at the time
that she arrived.
that she arrived. So I don't know if he had an opportunity to call the police. Now, I do agree. I'm not disagreeing that he wasn't 100% wrong from shooting, but and he did have the situation pretty much more or less in control, especially when when he took her phone.
Yeah.
You know, he
You got
definitely
a line for that.
Yeah, and then as she was backing back to her car or her vehicle, that showed that you had control of the situation at that
Right.
time.
Right.
So you could have.
You could have.
There was a lot of things that could have happened
avoided it.
instead of shooting
Yeah,
this
he didn't
lady.
have to shoot her, man.
Right.
Yeah, you could have shot her tires on flat, called the police,
But
shot
he-
all 4 times.
he-
If you didn't want her to go nowhere.
Here's the thing. He shot her 3 times.
See,
I'm talking about she shot the tires.
I know, but hear
Yeah.
what I'm saying though. He shot her 3 times.
it was premeditated.
Why not shoot? Why
One
not
time.
shoot her once?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
After the
call
first time.
authorities.
Yeah,
Call
exactly.
authorities. Yeah.
Premeditated. He knew he was going to shoot that
Yeah,
woman.
yeah. When you shooting 3
Well, I'm
times,
not gonna go that far as saying premeditated. I mean, we already say he was wrong. I know you already know they're gonna be lenient as far as when and however he gets tried. I'm thinking they will be because of his age.
So I agree with you when you say you don't think it was premeditated, but I want to actually play devil's advocate with Slash. When Slash, I'm playing it with you, Kid Money, but Slash said, I think it was premeditated. You know what? I can make a point for Slash to say it was, because think about it. How many times you've had your gun and you say, I wish this motherfucker would come up here. I'm going to shoot this motherfucker. That's premeditated because you already got it in your mind. I'm going to shoot this motherfucker.
Got a point.
So if this lady come up, if they bring their ass to my house, I'm going to shoot this motherfucker.
So when he got the information that somebody's coming to his house, he already had in his mind.
I'm going to shoot this motherfucker. Just like you could be chilling at your house and be like, I wish this motherfucker would run up in my yard. I'm going to shoot the shit out this motherfucker.
I can see that. It's not funny, but I can see that. You can see that shit happening.
Yeah.
Now, later on, authorities did show up, and they actually spoke to the guy that was doing the scamming throughout this process. And they were able to trace the phone back to Canada, which they found out it was a burner phone. Mm-hmm. So that makes it more difficult for the authorities to try to catch this person.
Right.
But again, that goes back, that proves that, okay, the 81-year-old was being scammed.
Right.
So as far as the murder, the premeditation for murder, that helps his defense in my case.
Because
in his
he was
case,
being scammed.
Yeah, it definitely proves he was being scammed.
Yeah.
And again, the racial basis, that's another argument on again how and why it wasn't a racial. What's the crime now that's happening with people?
Hate crime.
Hate crime. It wasn't a hate crime.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think he'll be. I think the charges will be. First of all, I do think he's going to get charged with something. I think the charges will be lessened.
I think it'll be manslaughter.
Yep. And so, but he has to be. He. Come on, man.
Well, depending on where he's at for a manslaughter charge, it's going to depend on how much time he get.
I don't even think he's going to get time.
Ohio.
It's in Ohio. I'm not sure. Let me see.
Okay, so the guy's 81, right?
Right.
You give him a life sentence.
Yeah, he's from
Ohio.
Ohio.
Not trying to be funny, but I am. But if you give him a life sentence,
well, he don't have life.
2 years, maybe a life sentence.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll give you 2 years.
Give him life. Go ahead. Why? I mean, it doesn't matter.
I definitely believe that he was because that woman lost her life, so somebody lost a mom, a sister, a aunt,
a mother,
and all of that, a mother. You know what I mean? So there should be some type of consequences to happen.
Give him life.
Let me back up. I said William was from South Carolina. It was South Charleston, which is a small town outside of Dayton, between Dayton and Columbus, Ohio. Mm-hmm. So I stand corrected. William Brock, 81. And I do feel, like Freddie G said, he does have to be accountable some way for this crime.
Yeah, he got it.
I don't think he's going to serve any time. Yeah. I think it's going to be manslaughter and probably a slap on the wrist type of thing.
So you think he get home arrest?
Exactly.
House arrest?
He'll be on, he'll sleep. He won't sleep in the penitentiary.
Right.
I think he will. He'll probably be in the infirmary somewhere, a medical hospital, because he's probably medically not able to be.
Well, he probably taking some kind of medicine, and he got
because he's old.
Right.
So he'll probably be I can see him being in a medical facility, but in prison, but a medical facility.
So you feel justifying him shooting her 3 times is what's going to pretty much be the reason why he does serve time, because you can't really justify why you had to shoot her 3 times.
Well,
yeah, that's
that
because he definitely didn't fear his life.
Even one time. So at the end of the day, just because somebody called to scam you to pick up some money or whatever the case may be, you didn't give the money. There was no money transaction.
They didn't take nothing from you.
So was there really a crime that actually took place?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they got some money from it.
It looks like it was a crime that could have been in progress.
It was in action, yeah.
But was there any crime that took place? And were you in intimate danger?
Right.
When she came up, did she have a weapon for you to defend yourself in that manner?
That's what's going to have to happen.
So that's where I think he's going to have to be held accountable.
He's going to lose that charge.
Now let me ask y'all this. I know my answer, but let me ask y'all this. Mm-hmm. And a part of me feels like if that was a white woman, she probably wouldn't have gotten shot.
She wouldn't be dead.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this. When y'all saw it, and y'all looked at it, did it make you feel some kind of way that a white man killed a black woman?
Honestly, me, I originally from the first couple of times that I viewed it, no. But I knew eventually that, the talk would be had in regards to it possibly being something on those lines. But no, I didn't get that initial.
Did it make you feel some kind of way?
So this is what made me feel. The shot that I seen, it looks like from her dash cam, and it has the little Uber thing up there. You see it. Mm-hmm. When the man came out, unless he doesn't know what Uber is, if he saw that big purple, because I remember it was.
Keep in mind, Comedian 96, he's being told by the scammer on the phone that somebody's on the way to pick up.
I get it, but who sends an Uber to do it? You get what I'm saying? You got to use some logic. If you see a big car and an old lady that's barely walking.
Uber drops off food nowadays, so hell, he probably thinking that.
Right. But here's the catch. You got a car out there with the Uber. She pointed and said, I'm Uber, I'm picking up the thing. She got the phone, right? And she's an old lady, can barely walk. I did feel some kind of way. Didn't matter the color barrier. It's just the situation.
So
she can barely walk.
You just actually answered my question.
Yeah.
Did you feel some kind of way because it was a white man who did it to a black lady? K Money said no. You just said the color barrier didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Did you feel some kind of way, Slash?
Yeah, it fucks me up.
Yeah.
Because of the situation. If you're on the phone with somebody and somebody come to pick up a package, if you ain't got the package, you ain't got to open your door. You ain't got to come outside.
Mm-hmm.
Sit in your house,
like
an old person supposed to, and chill. While you opening your door, coming with your gun. Mm-hmm. Now you see that it's a black lady. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm mad now. I'm really pissed off. Mm-hmm. I'm a shooter.
Yeah.
See, and for me,
that's what I think.
For me, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I wouldn't feel as I don't want to say mad or outraged or anger, but I do. Well, I would say outraged. I do feel a little outraged because had that been a white woman and he actually killed the white woman, I don't think my feelings. I would have been like that. Oh, that's messed up. He shouldn't have did that. Mm. But for me, man, anytime I see stuff like that, man, and I was raised by my grandmother, and all I could see was my grandmother in this lady. Mm-hmm. I can see that. And so I feel some kind of way because of the white on black. Right. And let me switch it. If it was black on black, if the 81-year-old man was black and there was a black woman, I still feel some kind of way.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you do that?
Why? The lady, she could barely walk. That's the part that got me. She could barely walk.
That didn't even matter. Like, I don't even think he saw the Uber sign because his focus was on something totally different.
Yeah, but he had the gun right on that point.
But see, the thing is, you didn't have to open your door, man.
I agree with that.
You could have let that just go.
Nowadays, those apps, which you probably wasn't able to read the app saying that your package is here type of shit.
Yeah, you don't have to open your door.
Have to open his door.
That leads me to want to discuss how do you guys think Uber can correct this type of things from happening? Because that's going to hurt this rideshare business now. Yeah. You can imagine it's going to affect it.
I don't think that Uber really truly can. I think that Uber and Lyft, they're putting in all of the measures to protect the riders and the drivers and the people that are calling. But unfortunately, there's always people who are out here who are smart to able to
crazy,
do
man.
The
what about
system.
Okay, right before this one last week, the Uber driver, when he picked up the girl, there's an old man. I know you've seen the video. He picked the girl up, and she gets in the car calm like nothing. Then she says, "Hurry up, go!" And her boyfriend shooting. I'm like, so how do you protect that?
So you can't do nothing.
Well, that was another issue here in Houston that happened a couple of weeks ago, where a white man, I believe, was robbed, and his address was used.
Yeah, the pizza.
Right, pizza delivery guy. They used his address to order a pizza, and so when the pizza delivery guy, which was a ride share,
they robbed.
They beat him, pistol whipped him, took his vehicle. Yeah. Now this was in River Oaks,
River Oaks.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, which
Yep.
is a rich area in Houston, Texas,
Wow.
for those that don't live in
Oaks,
Houston. Yeah.
yep.
So you wouldn't think that this type of
They didn't kill him, did they?
no, they didn't
No,
kill
they
him.
just
He was
hit that
20-year-old.
nigga upside the
Not
head.
saying that the
Okay.
age mattered, but he still got his ass whooped.
I think that's that pizza stuff. I think that's generational.
You kn-
We've been doing that since we were little. You remember that? I'm
You know-
sorry.
you know what? Too, now I'm thinking, going back to the Uber driver, right? The person who ordered the Uber driver, you don't know how old or the race of the individual that's coming to pick you up. And in this case, it was the lady coming to pick up the so-called package.
Right.
So that easily could have been a 20-year-old white boy.
Facts. Facts. Or a 20-year-old black kid, which
Uh-huh.
the results definitely would have been, I think, the same had it been.
Yeah, he probably
Probably shot quicker. Yeah.
and more bullets.
Damn.
Yeah, if he shot her, he definitely was gonna
Sad
shoot.
to say.
Yeah.
Sad to say. But just like in that last situation, you know, I feel like Uber and Lyft or any of these rideshare programs need to consider, you know, the safety of these people that are working for their organizations or provide a benefit.
Life
hazardous
insurance.
pay, some type of shit. You know, I know I'm exaggerating probably when I'm saying hazardous pay.
No, seriously, they need to provide hazardous.
Or a life insurance policy.
Yeah, there you go.
For everybody
Some type
that
of,
drives.
Especially that hazardous pay. That's a good one. You can tell by the address where you're going. You use the zip codes for our insurance.
Oh, so depending
Yeah.
on the area
get on
you
the zip
have to go
code.
in,
If
your
you
pay
could-
should be a lot higher.
Your pay should be higher, depending on the zip code.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? But not higher on the customer, higher on Uber. They need to pay that. Don't give it to us, even though they will.
Well, of course, that's where they're gonna get it. That's how they make their money.
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion, man. I agree with that one. I agree with what you stated also, / as far as some type of life insurance
Yeah.
for the employee.
It should be something.
But you guys don't think that this is going to hurt the rideshare program moving forward, son?
No, I don't think so.
That
Because
market is huge.
and there are a lot of people who don't have cars.
Yeah.
And then you still got criminal activity going on. Let me just give you an example. You know that pimps send hookers in Ubers. You know that boyfriends have girlfriends, go pick them up, send an Uber to
Send
their
an Uber.
girlfriend to get to them.
Right.
So you still, it's still going to be.
I got one even better. How many fights you had on the 52 Scott? That's before Uber. We had to ride the 52 Scott. 52 Scott still running, ain't it?
No, it is, but
so
I-
think about it. How many instances you've had on not just the 52 Scott, any bus?
But rideshare is not the only option, I'm saying. So, like, people maybe go back to using taxi cabs.
Right,
you
but
know.
see,
When
the point I'm
taxi cabs are at, first of all,
Yeah.
when the last time you seen a taxi cab? Number one, and number
the
two,
airport.
at the airport.
yeah, and number two, I think some of those taxi drivers who have their own cab, they're actually Ubers. Uber and
Yeah,
Lyft.
because the rideshare is pretty much taking over the business.
Yeah.
But I think this type of stuff can possibly. I do feel that it's going to hurt the rideshare program. Now, whether or not it hurts it enough, if these type of incidences occur, I do feel, will they become extinct? I don't think so, because it's like you said, it's grown.
Yeah.
It's pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think they figured or realized that it would be as huge as it is, as it has become. So, but to as far as stock wise, I definitely feel financially it has hurt them, and it's not going to hurt. If the crime continues, it's going to affect them. But I think if it doesn't affect them financially enough, then it's not going to defeat.
Right.
As far as them being non-existent anymore,
Man, why
if that makes sense.
Why am I stuck on you in this cab? I got Tyrone from DC Cab stuck in my head.
That's a hell of a boy. That's one of my favorite movies, Doc.
Man, I can't.
That's one of my favorite movies, bro.
Taxi cab.
Taxi. That's my favorite show.
But for those out there that do take advantage of these rideshare programs, definitely, if you listen to the show, think of some preventive measures, where you can be safe, as well as, the person that's working for these organizations. Keep in mind, some of these people do this for a living, and this is their livelihood. And unfortunate for Lolita Hall, and RIP to Ms. Hall, you know, she started her day thinking that she was finna, you know, making her daily living as she does, and unfortunately she didn't get to finish that day out. So just keep in mind, you know, these people have a life too. Be smart, and thank y'all for riding. And don't forget your transfer so y'all can catch tomorrow's show. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Sky Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Sky Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Sky faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.